Up Singapore. Gotta get up. The Big Show on Kiss 92. Gotta get up.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to the biggest and best breakfast show in the world. We are The Big Show, and our guest for today is RockstarArms Natalie Dau, who, according to the Guinness Book of Records, is officially amazing. Well, we've known Natalie to be amazing from day one. Congratulations, Nat.
Yeah, that came through, huh?
Yeah, thank you. I have the certificate. I need to not lose it now.
Yeah.
The fastest crossing of peninsular Malaysia on foot by a female. She did it in 8 days, 46 minutes. And, this was achieved in Johor Bahru, Malaysia on the 4th of June, 2024.
Yeah, I think you've got to change your name. No longer RockstarArms. Just put @Superstar.
Yes.
That's all you have to be, @Superstar.
I've tried to change that RockstarArms many times, but you can't now that you're verified, right? So I'm stuck with truth.
This is true. So how have you been enjoying the Olympics, if you have at all?
Oh, loving it. I love watching the random sports at the Olympics because it's a chance to view something a bit strange. And there's a couple of new sports in this year, which is interesting. So sport climbing, skateboarding, 3-on-3 basketball, surfing, they're all back. They've taken out baseball and softball and karate this year, but they've added in breakdancing. And I know everyone's a little bit, controversial. Is it a sport? Is it not? And they sort of, I guess, put it with gymnastics in that it's artistic expression with, athletic power and grace. But I think what's really interesting about the breakdancing is that what I found out is they don't actually get to pick their music or choreograph their routine ahead of time. So they've got DJs there putting on the music and they just have to improvise their routine there and there on the spot.
So
That's great.
It's truly like street dancing.
It's like street dancing, which
Yes.
means you are really totally immersed in that moment.
And it's pure talent.
It's pure
Because
talent.
you're not given any chance. It's an ad hoc thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Completely like on the spot. I love it.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to watching that. It hasn't happened yet, but it'll be great. And of course, we've got 23 athletes from Singapore over there representing us across golf, swimming, shooting, table tennis, badminton, canoeing, equestrian rowing and fencing. And then we've got Shanti for obviously the athletics. And I think our best gold medal chance is Maximilian Mader for the kite foiling.
Kite foiling.
Yes. Yeah, so let's see if he can bring home gold.
Yeah, that'll be so cool.
Yeah. I would love to see someone bring home someone other than Max, let's say, because we're expecting Max to win a gold.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the pressure that he's under?
Yes.
It's just like, I have to.
No pressure. Like,
Oh,
he's
what
18 years
nonsense.
old,
He
right?
will feel the
He's
pressure.
18, right, Nat, I think?
Yeah, so young.
I mean, remember when you were 18? You're fearless.
Not really. I just didn't want to do
I think
anything.
it's a different time now. He has a nation on his shoulders right now.
Yeah, when I was 18, I couldn't be bothered to listen to anyone. So
But
I can imagine what the pressure is.
What do you think, Nat? Do you think Max is feeling any pressure whatsoever?
I think he's definitely feeling pressure, but I think, even at 18, he's a professional in what he does. He's won so many world championships. So he's definitely used to the pressure, but this being the Olympics, it's going to be another level. So I'm sure he's surrounded by people that are supporting him mentally and, keeping him on track. But, I know that he's a champion no matter what, I think is always the message for any of these Olympic athletes, that doesn't matter if they come first or last, they've made it to the Olympics and they can call themselves an Olympian.
That's a big deal, yeah, for sure.
Okay, we got to work out with Natalie Dau on The Big Show TV. Up next, twice. This is Set Me Free on Kiss 92. Okie dokes.
Now it's time to work out.
Now it's time to work it out. We are doing a workout today, guys, with some hand weights, so nothing too heavy. We're going to be doing a split squat, left and right, overhead, weighted march, curl to press to extension, so a 3-in-1, and then weighted toe touches. So I want to put a challenge out there that we don't put the weights down the whole time. So that's why I don't want you to do anything too heavy. So let's see how we go with that. And let's get started. We're going to count down in 3, 2, 1. Ready for those split squats. So just one leg in front of the other. We're not changing. You don't have to have that knee touch the ground. We just want to be getting a nice range, whatever that means to you. Holding the weights in each hand and down and up. We're not holding down the bottom for too long. We're not holding up the top for too long. Nice steady motion. Now, if you're really focusing, you should be starting to feel it burn. We've got it weighted. If it's too much weighted, then, okay, we're done with that first leg. If it's too much weighted and you're feeling it's too hard to keep your balance, or it's really hurting your knees or hurting something, then pop the weights down and just do a body weight one. We're getting ready to go. Again, change our legs. My left leg is forward now. We're up on our toes at the back. Good job. That's it. Really feel it through your quads, your calves, your glutes. Such a great exercise. That's it. Stay with me. And to keep your balance, just look slightly ahead on the ground, so maybe a meter ahead. That will help. All right. Shake those legs out. You've worked them hard. Next, we're going to do that overhead weighted march. So that means we're putting the weights above our head. So let's see how we go with double weights. If it's too much, pop one weight down. Getting ready to go. And we're just marching on the spot, but holding those weights above our head. So lifting the knees nice and high. Well, we've got those weights above us. We're not moving our arms at all. You can have a slight bend in the elbow. You don't need to lock it out completely. And really focusing on your core with this one. You'll feel that working your abs, as well as obviously working your shoulders, but your arms should be nice and relaxed. That's it. All right, shake that out. Good job. Now we're going to do a 3-in-1. So we're going to do a curl to a press to an extension. So follow along with this one. It's a really good exercise to get them all done together. So first of all, so we're going to do our curl. We're going to extend up, and then we're dropping it back and doing that tricep extension, and then coming down. So curl, up, and extension. So really great exercise, this one. Just get into the groove of it. That's the curl, the shoulder press, and then the extension. So really working all parts of your body here, which is all parts of your arms, sorry. So you've got your biceps, you're working your shoulders, and then you're working your triceps. Good job. All right, last one. We've got our legs apart, and we're going to do our weighted toe touches. So opposite hand, opposite foot. Getting ready to go. 3, 2, 1. All right. And up and down. So we are bending our knees slightly when we go down, and we're just tapping our toes, or just in front of our toes. Don't hit your toes with the weights. With our opposite hand. Good job. So again, working the abs here, also working our hamstrings with the little bend, and obviously we've got our arms going too. Good job. Stay with me, almost done. Give me one more rep. Good work. Good job, everyone.
Alrighty.
That was good.
Oh, yeah.
Proof that you can work out in jeans. No excuse.
You can work out in anything, right?
Except a ball game.
Or nothing.
Yes.
Yes, or nothing. If you're home, go for it.
But it's also why you work out, right? So you look good naked and work
Exactly
out.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
Random conversations. on a
Random
Monday
conversations happening this
morning.
morning.
Oh, it is Monday.
Yeah, it is.
So, speaking of the Olympics, once again, I mean, are you following the runners, especially because you're a runner yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I always love to watch the marathon. And I do love watching them, but I think it's really hard to keep track of who the runners are nowadays. They change. It's not like it's a Carl Lewis and Michael
Ben Johnson.
Yeah,
Flojo.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think we've sort of lost a little bit of that spark with some of the athletics. We used to know who they all are. So I am definitely going to watch it because I don't get to watch it very often.
Right.
But there's no one that I'm really, really, really cheering for, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to talk about that again when we go on air. Stand by.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the CTE towards the AYE, look out after the Ang Mo Kio Avenue 5 exit because a vehicle has broken down. Also on the TPE towards the PIE before the Sengkang exit, causing quite a bit of backup to the Seletar Link exit. You're advised to avoid lane 3. An accident has been spotted. Wherever you are this Monday, please stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our first guest for today and every Monday morning is Rockstar Arms, Natalie Dau. Once again, good morning, Nat.
Good morning, guys. Worked out, sweating now, ready to go.
Set number 2 coming up in just a while, but let's continue to talk about the Olympic Games. I mean, since you're a runner, Nat, are you following the runners closely, and especially our very own runner, Shanti Pereira?
Yeah, I definitely am cheering for Shanti, that's for sure. I think, it's hard. It's not the glam sport that we used to see back in the day with Carl Lewis and Ben Johnson. I think that series that's been on Netflix called Sprinters probably helped it in the lead up to the Olympics. So if you haven't watched that, it's a great way to familiarise yourself with some of the American and Jamaican runners because let's face it, they dominate more than anyone. So I'm sure there'll be lots of glitz and glam around the 100 metre and 200 metres. And then you've got someone like Kipchoge running in the marathon. So it will be good. It'll be great to see how these athletes fare.
But you're right about it not being the glitz and glamour anymore because remember the times of Flojo and all that with her nails and her outfits and stuff like that.
Flojo.
It was all like it was a performance. At the same time, like putting on a show.
Yeah.
No,
I was in love with Flojo back then.
Flojo,
I
yeah.
agree with that, but I think this is why in Paris they're bringing in things like breakdancing and stuff like this so they can attract a whole new audience to the Olympics.
It's keeping it relevant, yeah.
Because they're going to have to keep it relevant because the glitz is gone. So now it's all about being relevant.
Exactly. And you look at someone like Sky Brown, who, is the great skateboarder. She's actually competing in skateboarding and surfing in this Olympics. So she's doing 2 sports, and we're seeing younger athletes compete in these newer sports, which is fantastic.
Sky Brown, I remember seeing her when she was like a baby, and I didn't realize she was already 16.
Yeah, I saw her on
My
the
goodness,
news.
she's fantastic, yeah.
Right. Okay, anyway, it's only day 3 of the Olympics.
True.
A long way to go. And of course, we're very, very excited because I think we're going to have Shanti Pereira on the show in the weeks to come.
Yeah, once she's done in Paris.
Hopefully she achieves what, she's hoping to achieve, in Paris.
Mm-hmm. All the best.
Okay, let's work out with Nat. Set number 2 next on the Big Show TV. It's 8:15.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you by Putian.
Okay.
All right. Okay, guys, let's do it again. All right. Getting ready to go. You know what you're doing now. Grab those weights. If you didn't use them the first time, then let's go this time. split squatting. Feeling that through our legs. Nice and steady. Front foot is firmly planted. That is not going anywhere. And we're up on our toes on our back foot. Good job. Stay there. It's almost like a pulse, but just a little bit deeper. 10 more seconds. Embrace the burn if that's happening for you. Good job. Shake that out. Remember, let's try not and put our weights down. We're going to change legs. Getting ready to go in 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Now, if you're doing this exercise with shoes on and you're at home, it's actually easier balance-wise to take your shoes off and do it. Your feet grab the floor more. So if you are struggling with your balance, then try doing this exercise barefoot. All right, good job. Really feel that in the glutes and in your quads. Let those muscles pop. Excellent. All right, let's shake that out. We're going to march it out in a second as well. Getting ready for those weights above our heads. Catch your breath for 10 more seconds. All right, let's get those weights into position. Getting ready to go. 3, 2, 1. All right. Now we want our legs to get up to waist height. So it's not a little march. We're really lifting them up higher. And that way we're working our abs more. And again, if this is too hard, just one weight, or if it's too hard with that, then just march it out, hands above your head. No problem. There's always an option. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Remembering, don't put those weights down. We're going to do that 3 in 1 now. Curl to press to extension. So getting ready, work those biceps, those shoulders, and those triceps. All right, here we go. Biceps, shoulders, and then back to tricep. Bringing it down nice and safely. Good job. Just get a nice routine. You don't need to rush this movement. So doing your bicep curl up to your press and then down to the tricep. Bringing those weights down. Good job. Let's keep going nice and strong. Stay with me. Let's get one more rep in. Great job. All right, getting ready. Last exercise, toe touches. Legs a little bit further away than hip width. Remember, opposite hand, opposite foot. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. And up. So coming up after each tap. That way we're really working the abs and resetting, not going to hurt our back. That's it. Pushing those hips out as we come up as well. Good job. Just holding those weights nice and calmly. You don't have to be gripping them so hard. You just want a nice, flexible, soft grip. Give me one more rep. And we're done. Well done.
Good job.
Good job. Oh, I'm sweating.
No, and for those of you who are working out together with Angel and Nat, good on you. You know, because really, we've said this before, although it's just like 2 sets.
It still
It's-
gets you moving, gets you perspiring a
Exactly.
little bit. I mean, we've got air conditioning
Yeah.
here for anyone doing it at home without
Yeah.
Yeah.
the aircon on. You can really work up a sweat.
And that's what you need, right? FD, you hear us?
Yes, yes.
He hears you.
I hear.
Whether he's listening is a different thing.
Yeah, go in one side, come out the other side.
Nat, we have a question on our Facebook page from Ashley, who says, "Hi Nat, what advice would you give someone who has had a meniscus tear?"
Hang on.
Okay.
Let's
Okay,
ask
we'll,
it.
we'll do this when we come back. Okay.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the KPE towards the ECP, right after the airport road entrance, avoid the rightmost lane. An accident has been spotted. Other than that, it's the usual heavy traffic. It is Monday morning after all. WhatsApp us if you spot anything. It's 8855509020.
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. We are with Rockstar Arms, Natalie Dau.
So we've got a question on our Facebook page from Ashley. She says, "Hi Nat, what advice would you give someone who has a meniscus or has had a meniscus tear and wants to take up running again?"
Yeah, so number one, go to your physio to make sure you get cleared. My husband has very bad meniscus issues and still manages to run. But I think what any good physio is going to tell you, it's about strengthening those muscles around your knee. So working on your glutes, your hamstrings, your calves and your quads until you're strong enough to do that. And like any running, it's build it up slowly. Don't try and go and run 5Ks first go. Do a couple of walk runs, see how it feels. Don't be adding more than 10% a week in distance. And, you know, just treat with care. But it is you're definitely able to run.
That's right. You got to build it up, Buttercup.
He was waiting a long time to say that one.
Don't be a strawberry.
Not really. 15 seconds. To
Oh,
be
there you go.
exact.
He just comes up with this stuff. Did you not know?
Because he's clever that
Yeah,
way.
he's witty and clever. Not sure it's the same thing. All right.
Any last questions for Natalie Dau?
Not for me.
You know
Enjoy
why?
the Olympics.
Nat, you know who's coming on next?
No.
A lady by the name of Nicolina Elrick, and she is going to be part of the Blue Origin team. They're flying into space, I believe, sometime next week, and she's going to be with us today and when she comes back from space.
Oh my
as
God,
well.
that's amazing. Go girls.
There'll be 2 girls on that spaceship, so we're going to talk to her. At least we have one of them in the studio.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, no, go girls. And the Olympics is the first time it's 50-50 female-male this year. So
Yeah.
I
Nice.
think, we're seeing some great changes. So, off you go, float into space.
Oh, is it really 50-50?
I did not know this
Yes.
part. Yeah.
Yeah, first time ever. Yeah.
Amazing.
Have you seen our boys? All of them look so much weaker than the girls. I think the girls will be able to slam dunk them, all of them.
I think so too.
Yeah, we've got some really, really strong girls.
We
The girls
do.
are getting stronger now.
Yes.
Very soon, the girls will be stronger than the men.
I think the girls were always strong. They just weren't given the opportunity. That's all it was.
There you go. You may
Yeah.
be right on that.
Yes.
You may be
Yeah.
right on that.
Correct. And, you know, if they want to do anything to the boys won't do anything. You know, just let the girls kick them in the nuts. That's
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Okay.
Which is what we think about every day, all day, Glenn. Yes.
Thanks. All right. Thank you so much, Nat, for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye.
All right.
Take care.
See you
Bye-bye.
next week.
Bye.
All right, and that was Natalie Dau, Rockstar Arms. Get ready for Nicolina Elrick, who's going to be going up into space in the Blue Origin. I can't believe we're going to be speaking to her before and after.
Yep.
So
Stay
interesting.
tuned for
Quite something.
that.
Kiss 92.
Not yet. Let's find out. Okay, so we're welcoming Nicolina into the studio. There she is.
All right.
Nicolina! We are live on Facebook. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for having me.
This is you.
Thank you.
So we're already live on Facebook.
Hey, you haven't been helping me with my routine when you're talking about donuts. Oh, that's no.
Did you buy some?
I was like, oh my goodness, I just want to go out and buy some now.
Everyone feels like a donut.
I know, but we all have to resist
Of course.
that donut,
We
right? If we're
do.
preparing for something, because donuts are the worst, but they're the most delicious.
No.
How long have you had when was the last time you had a donut?
Oh, it's been quite a while, I think. A couple of years, maybe?
There you go. See, in Singapore, we're tempted by all these foods. Not just donuts, but even the
Great
local,
food, yeah.
delicacies. Laksa, I haven't had in a few years.
Oh no, I thought you just had some 3 bowls last week.
Yeah, come on.
Where was that, huh?
At
You
an
were
event?
you were at some event. You had 3 bowls.
Oh,
Yes,
we
you
had 3
did,
bowls
yeah.
after 3 years.
Oh, okay. So one
Oh, you
for-
made up one for each
one
year.
per
That's okay.
year.
That's okay.
How long have you been in Singapore now, Nicolina?
It's been almost coming up to 30 years now.
Amazing.
So I call this home. It's, I've been here forever, so
Right.
which is kind of nice.
And you're going to be flying the Singapore flag.
I am indeed. So I wanted to talk about that for 1 minute because I don't know if you know what the Singapore flag stands for. So the Singapore flag the red stands for universal brotherhood and equality of man. The white symbolizes a pervading and everlasting purity and virtue. The crescent moon represents a young nation on the ascend, and the 5 stars depict Singapore's ideals of democracy, peace, progress, justice, and equality.
That's perfect coming up to National Day. Thank you for that.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, I thought so too. Exactly. My launch is around National Day. You guys were bringing the first Singaporean flag ever to go to space. And I think what the flag represents also is the same of what happens in space. We have no borders. We don't look at skin color or culture or religion. Everybody is as one. And I figure it's how much more harmonious can you get? The two are so together. It's perfect.
So you have a date for the launch. When is
I'm
it?
officially not allowed to tell
okay.
you.
Oh,
Sorry.
fair
I can tell you it's going to be very, very soon. I'm flying to the States next week. And after that, you will hear about it on the news and you can watch it live.
Okay. And you're launching out from West Texas, right?
Yes, that's
where
correct.
it is?
New Mexico,
Okay.
yeah.
New Mexico.
Does everybody follow Blue Origin, or maybe we can follow your
Instagram.
Your Instagram
yes,
as well.
The real Nicolina E. Yes, if you follow me on Instagram, there'll be a live feed. I'm also on Twitter, but Blue Origin will link it as well as on YouTube.
Okay, amazing.
okay.
Hang
How
on, let's go on
exciting.
air.
Okay. That's Ed Sheeran with Afterglow right here on Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place. All right, we officially introduce this extraordinary lady now on the radio, because we've been speaking to her on the Big Show TV. Her name is Nicolina Elrick, and she will be flying up in the Blue Origin's New Shepard very, very soon. Good morning, Nicolina. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Good morning to you all.
How do you prepare for something like this? Because this trip has got to put pressures on your body that no one on planet Earth can understand.
Absolutely.
How do you prepare for something like that?
Well, I've done a lot of training there's a company called Rockstar in the States that put you through the G-force training. So you learn to have the X-force and the G-force, which is via your head and via your stomach, which is equivalent to having like a baby elephant sit on your chest for launch. But you learn breathing techniques and you learn how to cope with those. You have coping mechanisms to kind of deal with all that. But I also did what's nicknamed the vomit comet. So when you're doing 0G, you do these what's called parables, and you go up and you come down, and then you have the feeling of weightlessness. So you can train your weightlessness training in that. But unfortunately, some people do get a little bit sick. So even astronauts take Dramamine to kind of counter-effect that nausea effect. But yeah, so we do that sort of training. Not all astronauts do that on a commercial basis. That's more on a government side. But I've been doing this for a long time now, so I'm more than overqualified for this launch.
Wow.
Oh, I like that. Okay,
Wow.
which brings me to the question. You've been preparing for this for a long time. I mean, just a quick look at your Instagram shows you it goes as far back as 2017.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why the decision to go up into space? Is it because you've conquered everything on Earth there is to do, or I mean, what made you decide
I wish
on
I'd
this?
conquered
But
everything.
before that, Nicolina, I think we need to establish that Nicolina has been living here in Singapore for over 30 years.
Yes.
She's as Singaporean as all of us are.
This is true,
And
it's
we're
a-
very proud that you're
Thank
you're
you.
going up to space.
I mean, I'm not your demographic of a Singaporean that would be going up. I mean, you would kind of think of someone else. But, like your show, we're all a little bit of a mix of everything, which I think is great. The diversity of everybody going up. So to represent Singapore, bring the very first Singaporean flag to outer space is really something unique. And I'm very proud to be doing that.
Amazing. So tell us a little bit more about the decision to become an astronaut.
Well, it started a very long time ago when, I wasn't thinking of dreaming of being an astronaut as a child. This is something that, because of technology now and the commercial aerospace, has become available for me. I come from a place that, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I had no money. I've been a career woman all my life. So that kind of put me in a trajectory towards being, I'm self-successful. And because of that, the opportunities of going to space commercially became available. So 10 years ago, I got approached to buy a ticket with Virgin Galactic. And so through them, I started training. And unfortunately, they're in a little bit of a pause right now due to technicalities. They're building new space rockets. So Blue approached me and said, because you've trained, you're the perfect candidate. Would you consider a seat with us? And so I'm now in contract with them.
So is this space tourism or is this professional astronaut?
Well, I'm trained as a professional astronaut, not
Okay.
fully trained as a government agency because I don't represent any government. I'm
Okay,
not
yeah.
American, so I can't work for NASA. I can work as a consultant for everybody, but I'm not working for a specific government. I don't even work for Singapore government yet. So I'm hoping they're considering doing an astronaut team at some point. That's definitely in the future, and I'm hoping I can help them do that.
Oh, nice. That'd be cool.
So
I
are
wanna
you
go
a
to space.
PR?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Yes.
very
Right.
cool.
So you'll be going up with Carson Kitchen, Eugene Grin, Rob Furl,
Yes.
Elman Jahangir, and Ephraim Rabin.
I have the most amazing crew. So we have the youngest woman ever to go to space as part of my team. We have a Jewish person and a Muslim person together in the same space shuttle. So we're showing that cross divides can
Oh,
actually come
amazing.
together. We have me, who's a girl from trauma, who talks about success and how you can independently do that. All of us have a story to tell. And Rob, obviously, a NASA astronaut who's there to do some biotech stuff on board as part of his mission. All of us there represent something individual. And we also share that we're all completely different, but harmoniously we all come together.
Right. What's the new Shepard like?
Oh, it's amazing. It's tiny. It's really small. So if you have claustrophobia, it's definitely going to be, it's smaller than the studio. It's like half the size. We literally sit head to tail, and our seats our seats are so close together and confined. But as soon as you take your seatbelts off and you're floating in outer space, it doesn't really matter. So
How long will that weightlessness be, though?
we'll only have a few minutes in space, unfortunately.
Okay.
It's not we're not going to the ISS. We're not doing, I'm in negotiations with SpaceX at the moment to fly with them, which will be a week in space, which
Oh,
will have
wow.
many opportunities of having weightlessness. But for the Blue Origin one, it's only a few minutes.
Okay.
But
Well,
enough,
it's a good
enough.
start.
It's a good
Yeah,
taster
for
of
sure.
like being,
Still,
and
you-
seeing the whole overview effect is the most amazing part. That's what I'm most looking forward to.
I think you're so
Looking down on
courageous.
Earth. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
All right, we are speaking to Nicolina Elrick right here on The Big Show. We'll continue to talk to her, beg your pardon, on The Big Show TV. Up next, Katie Tunstall, Black Horse and the Cherry Tree on KISS 92.
We were talking about this just now before you came in. You've trained as an astronaut. You're ready for this. But when you get up there into space, what are you expecting?
I think for me, it's just the next level of everything else. I challenged myself. I'm a helicopter pilot as a passion. So I challenged myself and a lot of adrenaline things anyway. But I think this is definitely the next level of adrenaline. I think this is going to be better than a fast car or flying in a helicopter or doing anything like that. But it's also going to be an exploration of the mind, not just of the body. I think looking
Right.
at the overview effect, we don't go to space to get off this planet. We go to space to help the planet. So everything we do out there, we're learning new technologies. We're learning new mental stuff as well. For mental health as well, it's great. So looking at the overview effect is the one thing I'm most excited about. I think that will change my whole perception and perspective of how to make this world better.
Are you looking to create any sort of awareness for any sort of beliefs that you may have? Like, for example, you said you have a Muslim and you have a Jew going out. You have the youngest woman up in space as well. You're already a woman. I mean, this is already amazing in today's world. It shouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah,
but
you
are
have
you
to remember-
representing anything?
Yeah, but you have to remember, there's only 700 astronauts who've only ever been to space in the whole of history of humankind, of which only less than 70 are women.
That's what I'm saying. It
we're
should be
breaking-
more.
Yeah,
you
we're
know.
breaking the glass ceiling to prove that this is any woman can do this,
Yeah.
and this is one of the reasons I'm doing this.
No,
to
I wouldn't
prove-
say any woman
I
can
know.
do
Well,
it.
I think we
Who
are
puts
our
her
own
mind
worst
to it?
enemy.
Yeah.
Exactly, we're our own worst enemy. We sit down and we sit and say that, society puts all these genres on us and that our expectations. But if we break down those and we decide this is what I want to do, I'm a walking example of that. You don't be dragged down by your past. You don't think, well, I come from a broken home or I have no money and that means I'm destined to do nothing. I'm an example that you can be anything you want to do. You can literally touch the stars. I mean, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, so if somebody, a woman, a girl listening right now, wants to do what you're doing, how does she start?
I would suggest study hard. School is always the best way. Education is the one thing no one will ever take away from you. I used to sit in the library as a child and learn. I wasn't, I didn't go to a special school. I didn't have those privileges. But if you sit down and you learn and you work out a way, there's always opportunities. You find mentors. You talk to someone and you say, hey, I want to do what you're doing. Please help me. And they will do it. I mean, I get approached through social media all the time through direct messaging. And I'm like, great, I will sit down and talk you through it. I'll try and mentor you. I go to schools and talk to young girls and say, what is it I can do for you to make you a better person, to want to be inspired by this? And I think that's really important. I think it's great that girls and young women decide that they want to do something different and make themselves more advantageous for it.
Yeah.
But studying is definitely the front runner. You've got to want to do it. You've got to be very passionate. I think passion is the biggest thing that everybody needs to do. If you're not hungry enough for it, then you're not going to get it. There's a lot of competition. So to be able to win through that competition, you got to really, really want it.
I think studying is, I won't say it's the easy part, but the physical part, I think, is the challenge as far as I see it, right?
Yeah.
For many ladies here in Singapore, we have many girly girls. Someone came up to me and told me, in Singapore, there are many girly girls. So when they say that, they mean, that they're not...
Delicate.
Yeah, a little bit more delicate,
they don't want
right?
to take that risk.
I mean, some of them can't even take a boat or,
or they're afraid to break a nail, or
because they get motion sickness and stuff like that, and something like this.
But exactly, it's what I said. I mean, you can take Dramamine for motion sickness. You can train yourself
excuses.
slowly. Well, that's it. You got to break that. You've got to break that border of what you think is your limitation.
and that fear, that internal fear.
The internal fear you get over. I mean, when I was a kid, I was scared of heights, but then I sat down and I worked out. Well, why am I scared of heights?
Yeah.
You pull it back down to the baseline. And you say, why is that fear based? Why am I driven by that fear base? And then you kind of break it down from there.
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think that in itself is something that we can take away from what you're doing, Nicolina.
How long is the entire trip? Okay, say you launch on the
trip.
first. It's a day trip.
It's a day trip.
Oh,
you
it's
just
a day
go up
trip.
and you come back down the same day. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So when Shepard comes back down, it comes back down as a normal capsule would.
No, well, yes, it comes down to the capsule. So the rocket and the booster and the shuttle on top go up together,
Right.
And then they separate.
They separate.
And then we come down. 3 parachutes go up, and then we come down on 3 parachutes. And then underneath, as soon as we're coming back down to Earth, there's a thruster underneath our little shuttle, and that gives us a soft landing so that we don't come down with a thud.
Wow.
And then the booster is reused again. So they're both reusable all the time. So the booster comes down as well,
Right.
but on a separate landing area.
But is it true? I mean, coming back into the atmosphere, there is a lot of heat.
No, it's not heat because technology obviously is advanced now and it kind of protects us. So
Right.
there's not the heatness of it, it's just more the pressure of it coming down.
I see.
When you come back into Earth's atmosphere is when you're going to feel the velocity of it all.
So have you simulated the entire flight?
We have.
You have.
So
How many
part of our
times do you have to do that?
Well, part of our training we've done quite a few times, but leading up to it, obviously next week when I go there, every single day we spend 6 hours a day in the capsule going through all the procedures. It's particularly more health and safety.
Yeah.
It's a 5-point harness that we sit in, and you have to have that as second nature to unclip and put back on in case of anything.
Yeah.
So it's more training of that.
5-point harness. Is that what
1,
we
2,
put on
3.
in business class when we
3,
take a...
4.
Is that
Like-
is that between
Yeah,
These days.
between your legs.
One,
between
two,
your
three,
legs?
four,
Yeah,
five.
and then
Yeah.
5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Business class.
That's true. I just flew like last month, right?
As far as I'm aware, they're not putting a strap between your legs when you're flying a plane. But, I'm flown in business in all airlines, so you just never know.
Okay, maybe it wasn't a 5-point.
5-point harness in business class.
But
That'd
after
be a selling
Oh,
point.
yeah, exactly. You might then feel like you're going to outer space. I don't know.
So I have a question for you when we go back on air. I mean, you're a helicopter pilot. Would you be considered an astronaut already, or would you be considered an astronaut after you go into space? Where you can answer that later. And then what next? What after being an astronaut?
exactly.
Where do you go from here?
What a woman! Okay,
God.
stand by. We're going on here.
92 traffic.
On the PIE heading east towards the airport before Engneo Avenue, look out for an obstacle taking up space in lane 5. And on the BKE towards the PIE, a vehicle's broken down after the KJE exit. Please stay safe this morning.
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for this morning is Nicolina Elrick, who will be going up in the Blue Origin in the new Shepherd. We don't have a date, but it's going to be
yet.
very, very soon indeed. I just want to say hello to Raj and Serena, who are tuned in right now as well. Thank you very much, Raj, for arranging this. This is indeed a treat, not just for us, but for everyone tuned in right now, to have someone who's going up into space talk about it before, and we'll welcome you back when you get back as well to Singapore.
I would like that too.
Which brings me actually to this question. I mean, you are a qualified helicopter pilot. I'm sure you've driven a race car. You're going up into space. Are you a qualified? You are qualified. Can you call yourself an astronaut now, or does that only happen after you've actually done this journey?
Well, there's a fine line between that. So I've done enough training to be qualified as an astronaut, but depending on how high you fly, depends on whether you get your wings. So there's been a lot of controversy on depending which commercial space agency flies high enough to be qualified as an astronaut, which doesn't. So you have people who train in MiGs that fly high enough, like 80 kilometers high, which I've done. So technically I'm an astronaut because of that. But then, according to the FAA in America, unless you pass the Karma line of 100 kilometers, you're not qualified as an astronaut.
Which is what you're going to be doing,
Which is
right?
what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I already have my silver wings, which tell you that you're trained as an astronaut, but you haven't gone past the line. So then I get a gold wings when I land, which tells me that I'm officially past the Karma line and officially allowed to call myself an astronaut.
So what next? I mean, race car driver, helicopter, chopper, pilot.
Well, the one great thing about all of this is I've kind of leaned into exercise. Like you were mentioning earlier, Glenn, about people who do exercise. I was anti-exercise for a long time. I don't know if you've read my profile, but I had cancer quite a few years ago and I'm a cancer survivor. And during that time, I got so put off exercise, I became so lethargic and just didn't want to do anything. And then I kind of started to lean into walking and got into groups of walking, and that kind of led into more. Then I went to Pilates, and I just kind of, I leaned into exercise from that. So from there, I've become not addicted to exercise, but I realized that an hour a day of doing something clears my head and makes my heart feel healthy. Right. And so because of that, I've kind of embraced that and leaned into it a lot more. Obviously now with the training I'm doing for space, it's a lot more regimented and a lot more harder. But so I mean, that's kind of been a big thing of it. So because of that, last year I had 6 friends independent of each other went to Kilimanjaro.
Oh,
and
nice.
all 6 of them invited me independently of each other. And I kept saying, you really got to get in touch with this person. They're also doing Kilimanjaro. Anyway, I couldn't do it last year because of timing and everything else. But so that's next, I think, on my game plan. I'm trying to persuade my daughter. Shout out to her. Hey, Antonia. I'm trying to persuade her to come on with me and do a mother-daughter trail. So.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Is she anything like you?
She's a new and improved version of me.
I like it.
Wow.
She's Eurasian, so her dad's Chinese. So she's taller, thinner, smarter, brighter. She's everything you could a parent would want, and I'm super proud of her.
It's Nicolina 2.0. She's going to go to the moon.
Well, that's the generation that are going forward. So
Yeah.
initially, I have to say 10 years ago, she was not a happy camper that mommy was doing all this. But I think now she's embracing it, and now she's proud, and now she realizes, I want to do this for all mankind, particularly for women. And she's a big advocate of that too. She works in human rights, and so for her, I think it's a great thing.
Well, she's got a great role model. So.
Oh, thank you. I do try.
Well, I mean, it's been wonderful having you on the show today.
Thank you. It's been too fast and too brief. But it's like going to space.
Well, you're going to be coming back and telling us all the stuff that you went through and what you felt, how it was, and
I look forward to that.
We can't wait.
Wait, but before we let you go, I realized you said some really, really nice things about Singapore just now. But
Yes.
that was on the Big Show TV.
It was.
So,
Can I say about the flag?
yes,
Yes,
please.
of course.
So for me, Singapore has never been represented in space. So I am honored and grateful that I'm going to bring the Singapore flag with me. And because, the Singapore flag represents the red stands for universal brotherhood and equality of man. The white symbolizes pervading and everlasting purity and virtue. The crescent moon represents a young nation on the ascent, and the 5 stars depict Singapore's ideals of democracy, peace, progress, justice, and equality, all of which I am honored and privileged to be carrying with me into space.
Nice. Oh, my
That's so
goodness.
nice. For those of you who are just tuning in, Nicolina Elrick has been living in Singapore now for over 30 years, and we're so proud of you.
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank
And if
you.
anyone wants to follow your journey on Instagram, where would they go?
At the real Nicolina E.
Okay, there
Thank
you go.
And so give me a shout out. I love all the support. And if I can help you in any way too, just let me know, DM me, and we'll see what we can do.
Perfect.
All the best.
Thank you so much. I'm so
Enjoy
grateful.
yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
¿Qué lo que estamos